don't know if you can see the graphics or murals, excuse me, on the buildings. There's like I think a college bookstore over there. To the left is Jefferson County Community Technical College and their bookstore, which we just moved someone out of there. I guess it's been about 3 years, and then they just took over the building, and then they did some renovations, so it looks pretty nice. And we are just waiting. As you get down here, we do have a lot more high-rise buildings, which we don't have a tremendous amount in Louisville, other than just in your downtown area usually. And here we go. And this is a Sunday. You can see traffic is not crazy at all. Very manageable. I mean, very manageable. St. Francis over here to our right. Very old building, private school. Let's see, we got some older buildings. Like we have the Brown Hotel, which is where the hot brown was supposedly created, if you want to read the legends there. And actually, I'm going to turn down 4th Street because 4th Street's kind of neat. So here we are at the Brown. You see some scooters that you can get on. You see you still got some Tark up ahead. You have a little plaza to your left right there where you can hang out. There's some benches and such. Here's where you can pull up and get your valet parking at the Brown. We have a lot of statues, which is neat. I took a lot of pictures of these statues one day, trying to get some pictures. We have some really good restaurants in Louisville. Gosh, there's a lot of them. I could talk about them all. I'm embarrassed to say that. But the Louisville Palace is up here, and that's also a legendary venue. And of course, it's mixed amongst newer restaurants. Safari Grill, I think, there. And then one of my favorite pizza places, the Sicilian. We've moved them a couple times. Let's see, this is new, the black something, I can't read it. Okay, so, but this is really a fun walkable area space right down here. Lots of things to do, especially on a Saturday, a little bit more muted on a Sunday, and parking garages. So I don't ever feel like I have to walk far. I'm not crazy about walking, but I don't ever feel like I have to walk very far, to get somewhere. So even if I have to park downtown, maybe a couple blocks, but a lot of times, unless it's just a huge event, you don't really have to walk too far, in my opinion. So you can see some of these buildings have been renovated into lofts now. And this guy's parking. He's doing his backwards parallel park. And right ahead is 4th Street Live, which is kind of a big thing. They took what was called the Galleria, which wasn't very popular when I moved here, and they renovated it, and it's kind of an outdoor-ish space with a lot of bars, clubs, restaurants, things to do, and it's extremely popular. Very, very popular. And I'm not sure what this guy's doing because he's not really parked. Is he parked? I'm not sure what he's doing. No. Okay, so you got a CVS pharmacy here. I guess that's... So we're not going to pull in there. Actually, they usually have it blocked right off. But Eddie Merlot's is to my right, which I'm very, very sad is closed because that was one of my favorite restaurants. We're now at the corner of Muhammad Ali and right at 4th Street Live here. Oh, Eddie Merlot's closed. Really, the pandemic did it. From the first of all, just being closed for the pandemic, and then right after that was all of the riots. So it was kind of one of the things that got hit. Okay, the Seelbach Hotel, another legendary hotel, beautiful inside. That was to my left. I don't know if we caught that on the camera or not. If not, I'll try and get it in another. I'm going to take a right onto 5th Street. We're still on Muhammad Ali. We're going to be on West Muhammad Ali now, okay? And I'm going to take a right. These are a lot of one-ways, so I can do some, right turn on red type things. So you can see you got some taller buildings now. We have these pictures on the side. They took some historic people, put them on the side of the buildings. Seeing the parking. So this is really, there's a lot of parking. Like I said, I don't think you have to walk very far, very often. As long as you can walk a couple blocks, you're okay. Metro Safe is right here to my left. So we're getting more of the government buildings now. We're now at the corner of Muhammad Ali and West Liberty Street. And that's a huge building right there. It's the Baird Trust building. I think it might have been called something before. I almost want to say the Hilliard Lions, but I could be wrong on that. I'm not probably the best at historical data, although I don't really think that's what you're listening to me for. Now up ahead, you'll see that pink, we call it the pink building. It's a marble building. It is Humana corporate, and that is how I ended up moving to Louisville. Is they transferred me from Green Bay to Kentucky. So it's a gorgeous building. They do a good job of keeping it updated and renovating and cleaning it up all the time to make sure it's always kind of pristine. Looks like there's like Melba. No, that's a new restaurant. There's always new restaurants. To our left, one of the government buildings, government centers. To our right, this is Louisville Attorneys and Business Center. So you can see it's a lot more government oriented right now. I'm going to continue straight, and this should be Market again. Yeah, we should be in West Market. And so we're at 5th and Market. And I'm going to go straight so you can see this building. Vincenzo's legendary restaurant, Italian restaurant, to my left. You got the PNC Tower to our right. So if you've got some high rises back to back. Up ahead is the Belvedere. It's over by the water, by the river. That's where my husband and I got married. So hopefully you can see this Humana building over here to the left. And it's gorgeous. It really is, inside and out. It's a beautiful building. But there's quite a few extremely large buildings in this area, tall buildings. I think Louisville does a good job on architecture. It's not too boring as far as just being square blocks. A lot of walking downtown because there's so much to do. There's a lot of places to sit. You see the little family sitting here, right there. And okay, we got the Center for Performing Arts on the right. They did sustain a fire a couple years ago, and that's a great place. We watched Louisville Ballet and things like that there. There's a workout facility to my left for Humana. Let's see here. This is a lot of neat stuff coming up here. On the right will be our Science Center, which is pretty cool. And on the left is going to be the Bat Museum, as we call it. So you'll see people walking around with their little miniature bats. And you'll see art right on the street. So it's kind of cool. And you see Statue of David, big as it can be. I don't know what, 3 stories tall or something. And let's see here. And during the pandemic, they put a mask on his face, which was kind of funny to me. Okay, on the right, you'll see the colorful buildings. That's the Science Center. And then on the left, I guess the tree's partially blocking it, but you'll see the Bat Museum, or the Bat Museum, excuse me. And you kind of see a lot of walkers now because people are going to that, and then they're walking around with their little bats. So it's kind of neat. So it's the biggest bat, I think they said, in the world. People get their picture taken there all the time. And then you got the Fraser History Museum on the right, which is a lot of fun. I've taken my kid there and all of her friends. And what we're going to do now is take a left onto this street. I think this is 9th or something. Okay. Again, you see some more multi-story buildings coming up. And let's see, I'm going to take a left onto this Market. Yeah. Now here, if we were in that lane over out to the right, we would be jumping on the expressway right there. Okay. All right. See some parking garages. Flame, which is a glassworks type place. You can see the Humana building and the PNC building, how they stick out. The Aegon building up ahead of us. Okay, we're on Market and 8th right now. Again, you see a lot of those rental bikes, the scooters. So it's gotten really popular in the last just couple of years, really. parking garage. Another parking garage to the left. So there's quite a few. I want to try to hit the courthouse map so you can see it. Because there's an old part and a new part. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to take a left up here. Excuse me, a right. I'm directionally challenged. Okay, see bus stops. We're on 6th. Okay. And they were doing some renovations on that building. That's a government building. There's a lot of government. I think the sheriff's department's in there. On the right as well as a government building. And then I'm going to take a right on Jefferson. And you see the Hall of Justice. That's where court is, and if you have to file papers, etc. My brother-in-law works there. And then we have a new part that was built, I don't know how long ago, to be quite honest, but we have a new part that was built, and hopefully you can see that. It's a lot newer, and it's right there. So but then it seems like I always have to go to the other side anyway, and I have to take that pedway across the way. It looks like a lot of, I believe, attorneys' offices.